Okay. All right, guys, welcome back. Today, we're going to talk about the video that was released Monday on Thousand Pound Sisters. And, people are, uploading these videos straight from, I think it's Discovery Plus or TLC or whatever. So I took a clip out that I thought was really interesting. And this is where Chris, God bless him, he is doing so much for Tammy. And I I get really frustrated because I don't see her appreciating him like she should be appreciating him. So this is the part Chris hires a trainer to come to the house and help them get moving a little bit. So let's see.
So today, Chris is coming over and we're gonna go on a workout.
He's so cute.
What's up?
You ready to get some importance body working going on here?
Okay, so
Seeing Tammy playing the video game. To be honest, she was having problems standing up. So today,
So what he's talking about here is before this scene, Amy had bought a virtual reality headset. Apollo is right here, and he's really upset his chair's not set up. He knows he's the real star. So Amy and Mike had purchased a virtual reality headset, and they were trying to introduce it to Tammy as a way to get moving and have some fun, so it didn't necessarily feel like exercise. And it ended up showing just how horribly bad of shape that Tammy was in. As much as Tammy frustrates me, and I think she's horrible to the people in her life who are trying to help her, I did feel bad for her because it was so sad to see her. Her mobility was this to this. I mean, there was no, Amy kept saying, turn around, and she couldn't not turn around. She couldn't stand there. And then less than a minute in, she starts crying that her legs are burning. So this is what he's talking about.
I got an appointment with a personal trainer to help get Tammy moving and exercising so she can lose some of this weight.
Tammy and Chris, come outside! Time to work out. Let's go.
The first time I had that, yeah, that's an interesting way to motivate people. Would not work real well for me.
is he part of our family?
Let's go, let's go!
The guy shows up, he's blowing the little siren, like, what the hell is going on? And who the hell he think he is?
Hello, Chris. How are you? I'm Tony. Time for some fun.
Yeah, it's slow moving.
I love Chris. I think Chris is such a great addition to this show and to the whole Slayton saga. He's so great because it's such a different dynamic, and Tammy definitely respects him more, and she can definitely she takes what he says better than Amy telling her anything.
For now. So today I'm meeting Tammy and Chris, and what I'm hoping to do is teach them some things that they can do on their own. And mainly I'm going to be getting a feel for what they can do and hopefully push them out of their comfort zone a little bit, because most people can do more than what they think they can.
While he is right, and I agree 100%, and I just read a study a couple days ago that said when you feel like you're at, that's all you can do and you've pushed yourself too hard in the gym, it's something like you're only really at 40% of what you can actually do. So while I do agree with that statement that he said, I know a lot of people would be so afraid to take them on because talk about high risk, like you better have your insurance paid up.
Very nice to meet you. You can use your walker here. I want you just to stand up and sit down on your chair. You can use that for balance, but 3 times. That's all I want you to do. I want you to do just a body weight squat. So you don't have to squat down really low, but I want you to put your feet a little bit wider than your shoulders.
Okay, I did watch this before. He's kind of a chunky trainer. I didn't realize that he had the girth in his belt. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I just noticed it. So maybe he's gone on his own journey, so he's going to be a little more like understanding, empathetic, just kind of get understanding where they're coming from, which you'd have to be because it would be very easy to be discriminatory to Tammy, especially. There is a paper you can go on Google, and it's called Obesity, the Last Bastion of Prejudice. Very interesting read.
And just bend your knees a little bit till you feel a good seated position. And then when you feel like you're starting to, about as low as you can go, stand back up. And so just a smooth, controlled movement. So just 3 times up and down. Good.
My butt hurts.
I know Tammy's trying to be funny, and I think when she becomes uncomfortable in a situation, that's kind of her way of dealing with things. But sometimes the jokes, especially the fart jokes, like...
Okay, so flashbacks to gym class. I want you to have a seat on the wall over there. You remember these?
Wall sits.
Got a crane to
Yeah,
pick 'em
so
up.
just squat about halfway down, lean flat.
Now, see, now Tammy didn't have to say that. You have a crane to pick him up. He weighs almost, he does weigh 250 pounds less than you, Tammy. Like, why does she have to do that? That upsets me a lot. Like, that really bothers me because Chris is a good sport about everything, but, you know, he can get his feelings hurt too, just like she gets her feelings hurt if someone says anything to her. Why is that okay for her to do that to him? Like, I've read a lot of comments on different videos that have been released, and everyone's like, God, Tammy, could you just not, like, show some appreciation? Like, instead of saying that to him, be like, you know, encourage him. Good job, you got this, like he's doing to you. Ugh.
Flat up against the wall. Move your feet out a little bit further in front of you. There you go.
I'm a former pro of sitting on the wall during recess. But it's a little different than sitting on the wall the way he had me because I didn't
They had asked him, let me see if I'm getting ahead of myself.
have a chair.
I'm glad that wall was strong enough.
Me too.
See?
You're very good. Come on back up. Nice work.
He was in his good partner position.
That right there will make a man out of you. You sit there very long.
Now we're going to do a very simple bicep curl next. Yep, just back and forth. Very good. When was the last time you worked out on purpose?
A year ago.
Okay.
What did you do last time you worked out?
99. I ain't
1999. I can kind of relate to that. So obviously college, and then got married, had kids, got really fat, and then had weight loss surgery, and then became obsessive about the gym. So that was 2002. And I mean, almost more obsessive about the gym than I am now. And then I met Bob, we got married, I got super shredded for our honeymoon. We moved to Korea, and I kept working out like the first year we were in Korea, and then I got a job. And then I kept doing yoga, but I wasn't like weight training and doing cardio like I should have been doing. And then when I got to Oklahoma, got sick, and everything I went so far downhill with my health. I tried to come back and work out when we were in Oklahoma, and so I started training with Marcia in 2019. So before that, 11? No, before that. We got to Oklahoma in 2006 to 11, so probably more like 2010. Oh my God, that's terrible, 9 years.
worked out since high school. It's a whole lot harder now when you haven't done it in 20 years. All I'm going to say is baby steps.
He's a really good attitude about that, because I think a lot of people, myself included, like, we have in our heads what we think we should be able to just walk in and do after 10 years of not doing anything. Him, 1999, like, and it is baby steps. And I'm totally guilty of this, like going in, thinking you can do more, doing more, getting hurt, or being so sore you're physically, literally sick to your stomach over it. And then you don't train for 6 more months. You know what I mean? So that's one of the reasons why I chose to, and I know I'm lucky that I have a trainer, but that was one of the reasons why I found Marcia, because I know myself. And I also felt so intimidated at that point. Getting back into a gym is like, I walk in like, what the hell do I do? You know?
So what's really important, if you're working with me, we work when we can work, we rest when we have to rest, okay?
Well, Dr. Smith gave me a 15-pound weight goal. 15 pounds is not a lot of weight, but I have a tendency to gain weight when I'm under pressure to lose weight.
Apparently you want to work, right? You want to work, hey, no.
You know, I really think a lot of people can relate to what Chris just said about, you know, you have a tendency to gain weight when you're under pressure to lose weight. And I think that kind of is that self-sabotage a lot of people have. And so I think it's great that he realizes that about himself. So hopefully he can, I really want him to have this surgery. And I really hope that, you know, when he's going to get approved for this before Tammy. And I hope that he goes ahead with it in spite of what she might have to say to him. Just like she was upset with Amy. Well, we're supposed to do this together. Well, Amy did what she was supposed to do. Tammy's over here eating freaking trash cans full of candy. How is that? That's not an equal partnership on doing this weight loss thing together. So, the previews for next week, Tammy said something that got me really worked up, and I'll talk about that at the end.
Resting for
Would love to know how long they worked together, how long, you know, the trainer was there with them, you know, because we're seeing this couple minute snippet of it. It'd be interesting to know. I mean, obviously you can't push Tammy. I would say more than 10 minutes would be probably, you know, pushing it.
Tammy participated in the exercise session as much as she did, because if Tammy gives as much effort as she did today, she won't have any problems losing the 25 pounds.
Okay, he's right in a way. However, you know, you hear about how much diet is a factor in this. It's right now for Tammy, I personally would say it's 100% diet. I think it's great. She needs to be moving. Her mobility is garbage. However, getting this weight off, she could lose 20. I'm not joking. She could lose 25 pounds in 7 days if she backed it to 2,000 calories a day. I would be willing to bet $1,000 right now. Tammy, I'll give you $1,000 if you let me feed you 2,000 calories a day. We take everything out of your house. I would be willing to bet she'd lose 25 pounds, and I would make her drink a gallon and a half. I drink a gallon and a half of water a day. She can drink a gallon and a half of water a day, and just start really getting her system. I feel like it's just clogged. You know, it's just, I would love to see her blood work. I'm sure Dr. Proctor at some point ran some blood work on her. I'd love to know where everything is, you know, all of her mineral levels, her electrolytes, her heart function, her cholesterol, all that stuff. I want to see her kidney functions. I mean, I've had some questionable kidney functions in this last year that finally the doctors were like, oh, wait a second, you train a lot. This is what's causing, and it was a little elevated. It wasn't a big deal. And finally my doctor was like, no, this is why, you know, and you can see where my function was like low, almost like as far as on the low end of normal. And then I start training and you can see it go up. And he's like, you can see the timeline of when you started training hard. So that was fine. But I'd be very interested to see her kidney functions, liver function, cardiac especially.
She's got to go. But I can't be there every day. I have a life to live of my own.
He's got a wife and kids.
Will she keep it up? I don't know.
Okay, so that's next week. So I'm not going to show the rest of this, but I do want to say they put a clip in of Tammy sitting in her house complaining. Chris hasn't, I just don't know how I'm doing it. Chris hasn't come around, checked on me like he said he would. Chris can't do this for you, Tammy. Sorry, Tammy, like this has to come from within you. You have to want this more for you than your family wants it for you. You know, Amy's moving away. She's getting a bigger place. You know, she's about to pickle at any point. I'm sure she's had her baby by now. I think Tammy on a TikTok live stream said Gage had been born already, which I mean, I would assume at this point, you know, she's 8 months pregnant filming this. So, but she has got to want this for herself. Like, I'm sure some of y'all saw, it's all over YouTube, all over the blogs and stuff. There was a point, so Chris took Tammy into the dentist. Tammy had not been to a dentist in 10 years. You know, she's missing a front tooth, but I guess there was an accident, some trauma, knocked her tooth out. But took her in, and so the dentist was so professional, so kind to her, and was asking Tammy, okay, so how often do you brush your teeth? And Tammy said, well, I try to brush my teeth twice a week. And I'm not joking. I was expecting her to say, oh, I mean twice a day. And no, she was, so if she's trying to brush her teeth twice a week, it's once a week, maybe. Now, I worked for a dentist years ago, and I worked in veterinary medicine too, and the same holds true. If you have a problems like infected gums and that kind of thing in your mouth, it can cause kidney problems, heart problems. People go into heart failure because they have gum issues. So and then shockingly enough, she just had a lot of buildup. She didn't even have a cavity. How crazy is that? So I think they're making a flipper for her to put a tooth so she'll feel more confident about her smile. But like if she's doing that and she gets this weight loss, like her self-esteem is in such a bad place. Like everybody knows that Jerry, her boyfriend, is married. And like she's okay being the side piece, you know, and that makes me really sad for anybody. So I'm hopeful she can get her self-confidence up and start living for herself. Can you imagine? She could get a job and like start to drive and do all these things for herself and really have a life that she just doesn't have right now. So I'm really excited. As of right this moment, filming this on Tuesday at 1:53 p.m. my time, we have 357 subscribers. So it's really exciting to see the numbers, you know, ticking up. So, you know, obviously monetization is what we're looking for. So, thank you guys all, and everybody new who's here. I really appreciate it. Everybody who's been with me since the beginning, you know, in December when we started uploading, really, really appreciate it. And I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you. Bye.